Solveig is a 2 times current world champion in strength endurance, and today we will get to know her better and find out what it actually takes to reach the top.
That's why I quit also in the end. I had lost like the joy for the sports.
You broke the neck.
Yeah, I hated the competitions when I was young.
You recently became the world champion for the second time at Calisthenics Cup 2026.
Yes.
Can you just try and describe how that feeling is?
Yeah, it feels amazing. It's a lot of, it's the best athletes in the world, so it's high level than everyone. So I didn't expect to win, nor last year, but that's the main goal, and I'm really happy that I reached so far. Yeah.
So even this year, you didn't expect it?
No. I mean, it's high level on all the athletes, and we're kind of similar, so it could go both ways, and not every round is suitable for everyone, so it can depend on many things. But I was really happy that I managed this year as well. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It was really a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
And so for those who don't really know you, can you tell a little bit more about yourself? How old are you? Where are you from? For how long have you been doing calisthenics? Tell those who don't know you yet.
I'm 26 years old, and I come from Norway, kind of close to Oslo. And I've been doing calisthenics since 2021. And I've been competing for the last 3 years in strength endurance. And I've also been a gymnast before.
For how long?
I did gymnastics from 8 years old till 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so all the childhood. Yes.
You're an elite athlete, I would say. Can you describe a little bit how is it being an elite athlete on this high level? Do you have a full-time job, or is calisthenics your full-time job? What does your life look like?
Yeah, so it's not a lot of money in calisthenics, especially not in Norway. We don't have any fundings or something. So I work as a nurse, and we work like day, evening and night shifts. So it's hard to train beside this because you always get so tired. You get a lack of sleep if you work night shifts, and it's hard for the turnovers. So it's a bit harder to do the training, and I have to adapt every session. I can't have a program that I follow strictly because I have to adapt every training. Depends on how the workload is. So it's of course the job. I have to do the job, and then I try to prioritize training as best as I can beside that.
So you think if you would have the opportunity to actually make a living from calisthenics, do you think that would make you even a better athlete than you already are?
Of course it's hard to say, but it could be better to not be so tired from work, or you could get like a normal sleep schedule would help a lot, or a lot of times I don't have time to, or a lot of days I don't have time to eat during the full shift of 8 hours, so I don't get food properly as well. So in some ways I think it could be better, but of course it's hard to say because now I can focus on something completely different half of the day, and then focus on training afterwards and have full focus on the training. So it's both up and downs, I think.
So you mean like mentally it's that you can have time in the day when you don't have to think of the training, and that kind of helps you focus when you're actually training? Yeah,
or it's hard to say because sometimes it does and sometimes not. But in a way I think it's good to have something else to focus on. I don't have time to think about the training during the work. So
because it's quite busy work.
Yes, it is. So you don't have time to focus on that, and then when you're finished with work you can have full focus on the training afterwards. So in a way it's a good thing because then you have more focus when you are finished, but of course you're more tired, so it's hard to stay focused for a long time. So it's pros and cons, I think.
I think that's quite inspiring in a way, that you can become the 2 times world champion even though your sleep program is not 100%, your diet is not always 100%. Like you can still, if you just stay consistent for a long time.
That's the key word. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the consistency.
Yeah.
And you do the work, you put in the work, then you can come so much further than you think you can, even though everything is not 100% perfect.
Yes, because it's hard to have everything 100% either way.
Yeah.
Focus on what you have and what you can change and try to maximize that. I think. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I know we talked and you did gymnastics before.
Yes.
And you mentioned something that in gymnastics you don't have this community the same way you have in calisthenics.
Yes, I really like the community the way it's here, because it's so open and everyone is like, they have their own motivation kind of. It's not the same kind of motivation, you know, and it's more like other people making sure that you're doing this, you're eating that, you're training like this, and here you can just choose yourself, you know, you're
more independent.
Yes, yeah. And you show up for yourself, you know, and you train every day, and you meet other people that has the same lifestyle kind of, yeah, and also just shares the love for the sports. That's amazing.
Would you say that you felt more alone when you did gymnastics, that it was, since you mentioned you didn't have this community?
No, because it's always you train with other people, and you get and they're like my friends for a lifetime, you know, and we've stayed friends since like 8 years old. So of course, but it's just a different kind of community, because I think it's also because you're older and you're more like confident in what you would like to achieve kind of, and not so much other grown-ups like telling you to do this or that.
Because you also mentioned when we talked yesterday that you had this team of coaches, you had people, you mentioned now also, that told you what to do.
Yes, we had a lot of coaches that were really strict and how to do the trainings and what not to, and I had like a nutritionist that told me what to eat and when to eat, and the trainers told me what to train and not to do other things beside, you know, and not to, I don't know, jump in the trampoline on your spare time because you were tired to training, and it was just more strict in a way. Here you can just choose, you can choose if you want to jump on the trampoline. It's a bad example, but yeah.
And you also mentioned that you had a mental coach.
Yes,
and
for a
psychotherapist also.
Yeah, for a time.
And you felt that this made you better or worse as an athlete?
No, during the time I was quite young, so it feels so overwhelming when you have so many people in different areas and you feel a lot of pressure to do the best always, and that took a lot of the joy from the sports for me. In the end, that's why I quit also. In the end, I had lost like the joy for the sports, and that was really sad, I think. But after a couple of years I felt the joy came back, you know, and here you can feel the joy all the time, because, you know, it's not, I don't feel the same pressure anymore. But also I learned a lot from this, because it's a lot of experiences that you take with you afterwards, and I think I've learned a lot from all of them. But I think at that time, because I was so young, it felt a bit overwhelming, and I don't know if I learned so much at that time, but I think I've learned a lot after a while, and when I grew older I think I have it with me, so it really helps.
And you explained that you found this joy again. Was that when you started with calisthenics? Yeah,
also, or both. I just had a couple of years where I went like sailing and climbing, a lot of other and then after a couple of years I came back both to gymnastics as a coach, and also I met people doing calisthenics. I just met some people like standing on their hands in the park, and I came to talk to them, and then I joined the big community like NTNUI. It's the biggest student community in Norway, which has like over 100 calisthenics athletes. So it's really, it was really great community, and you became part of that, and then afterwards you started competing in the nationals and then international afterwards, and you met the same great community everywhere you went, so that was really amazing. I think so.
On to today, do you have a coach today, or are you your own coach?
I don't have a coach. I haven't had it since I've started calisthenics, so I do myself, but also I think it could be a bit harder because of the job, because I have to adapt every training, so it's hard to, I think it would be hard for a coach as well to make a program, because I have to adapt so much during what kind of workload it is. So I would imagine, I'm not sure, but I would imagine it would be a bit harder. So I just make like my own plans, and then I adjust it afterwards to see how the body feels that day.
So you mean it will be hard to coach you?
Yeah, I don't know, but I was thinking maybe because it's I do have to adapt so much. So, but I'm not sure. It's.
I feel like maybe it could also be that it's the situation where you could get more help if you actually have a coach that is really into it and could help. And
yeah, and of course you don't have to think about what to do. Exactly. So that's also could be really helpful because you just have a plan and do it.
Are you nutty?
Yeah, I don't use anything.
And do you think that doping or steroids is a big thing in the calisthenics elite, especially in endurance? I'm
not sure actually, but I think people are, or some people are using, of course, but I'm not sure how normal it is. No. But I would imagine it's everywhere, so I would imagine as well.
So it is possible to get as strong as you without taking something.
Yes, of course. Cool. It's the consistency that, like we talked about, it's the most important to show up every day, and also it's easier for me because I have a background in gymnastics, which is a bit similar, so it could be easier to transfer.
You have basically 18 years of training experience.
Yes, yeah.
Are you always motivated or on top and you feel like everything is great, or do you have times when you feel doubt and you feel like you're just on a low point?
Yeah, it's both, definitely. You're not motivated all the time. It's hard to stay motivated all the time, but as long as you show up, you can see the results either way. So in a way, that's motivation as well. And sometimes if I'm too tired, I can just do something else, or handstands and stretching and basics and rehab. And you can always do, or always, but you can usually do something, you know. And if you don't have energy to do a hard workout, you can do a lighter one. So, but yeah, of course, you don't have motivation every day. It's impossible, I think.
Do you have a specific time in your career, either calisthenics or gymnastics, when you felt extra low and you felt like you almost want to quit?
Yeah, a lot of times. A lot of times, yeah.
Is that because of just mental things or injuries or failures?
Yeah, I think both. I had a lot of injuries as a gymnast as well, a lot.
Because you said you had broken your bones many times.
Yeah, 10 times.
Wow, 10 times. That's so
a lot
much.
of injuries, yes, and a lot of rehab and prehab, or what do you call it? Yeah. So yeah, of course, a lot of times. But after the neck, it was like I did.
You broke the neck.
Yeah, so like C2, I think it's quite high up. But I did wear like I don't know what's called.
This cone thing.
Yes, and then you can do anything. You know, usually you can do. I just told you usually you can do something, but then I can do anything.
That's what you said. Usually you can do something. Yeah.
So then I could just do like this for the ankles. That was like
ankle work.
Yeah, wow. But of course then it went really well. You know, I was young and it was okay, and nothing afterwards, so it was. I was really permanent. No, I was really lucky. I was young and I didn't realize it was so so scary at that point, you know. And I think that's a good thing.
I hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoyed talking with Solveig. And if you want to support this amazingly strong and humble human, don't forget to add code Solveig10 at checkout in the PROVITY shop. This way you get 10% discount, and at the same time you support Solveig. Get Solveig's favorite flavor, Sweet Peach. It's only 25 pieces left, so if you can't find it in the shop, it's already sold out. And if you want to know more about the performance drink, you find all the information down below in the description. But now let's get back to the video.
I have a clip that I want to show you. It's a comparison from 2023 to this year at Calisthenics Cup. I want you to look at both of them and see the difference between them and explain what you have changed. First video is from the Nordic Championships 2023. Let's take a look at your pull-ups.
Oh no.
I don't know how many it is.
No, I don't know either. It's high though.
Now let's take a look at your pull-ups from this year.
I'm not fan of the pull-up example, but it's a lot of faster reps and not so high. Pull-ups is not my favorite exercise. I don't have a good technique on it, I think. I'm still working on it, as you can see. I usually do like, I don't know, more here, kind of. I think. Oh, sorry.
So you're putting more retraction.
Yeah, I think so. So it's not a good technique. I think I'm working on it, but usually if I do like more wide, then I get pain in the shoulder. So I have to do quite narrow. But then I have really long arms, so the time takes a lot of time. Yes, so it's I'm not satisfied with the pull-ups yet.
It's really interesting because I would say that your pull-ups has increased a lot or improved a lot, like so much.
Thank you.
Because
that's nice.
When I coach the athletes that I have and when I talk to people, I realize that people think that pull-ups is a more easy exercise than it actually is. It has so many technical components to it. So I would say one thing is with your swing.
I have
in
a
this
lot of
2023
swing.
example, you need to kind of go down, take a little second of rest, and then go up. And if you look at the speed for these reps, you can really like...
Yeah, it's a lot faster.
Your body is not moving forward, and that is a lot because you arch your back a little bit more. So in this 2023 example, you tension your core, which makes your legs moving upwards, and then when you go down, they start to swing. But at Calisthenics Cup, you tension your arch your back a little bit more, you get straight up, and then you get straight down.
Yeah.
And that makes so that you can do all the reps unbroken one by one.
Yeah, or almost at least. I'm not completely satisfied. I want to have the starting position better. Like I still have some movements, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
It can always get better. And also you mentioned about the grip width, and I would say that you have wider grip.
Yeah,
now.
I can do a bit wider, but I can't do like wide.
And that's because of pain.
Yeah, I usually feel pain when I do wide, so I just go back to a bit more narrow. But I try to do more wide than the first one.
Yeah, because the first one is almost like shoulder width.
Yes, yeah.
So I would say great improvements, less range of motion, wider so that you target more lats instead of biceps, and also less tension core so that you get less swing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to see. I haven't seen it since the competition 3 years ago, so...
It's easy to get stuck in where you are right now and feel that you haven't made that much progress. But once you look back, you can see that you have already made a lot of progress.
Yeah, that's really cool.
A good tip is to film your sets and then take a look at it in 3 years.
Yeah.
Alright, so I was thinking that we can dive a little bit deeper into the topic of overreaching and training too much or resting a little bit less than you maybe should, because I feel like this is a topic where a lot of athletes on a high level struggle with, that you want so much and you want to do so much in order to get better. What's your take on like overreaching or training too much? Have you yourself been there at some point?
Yeah, but it's hard because we all are different and we all can tolerate different volume, and it's hard to know where your limit is, I think. And a lot of times you want to do more and you want to train more often, more intense workouts. It's hard to know your limits because you have to have enough rest to gain, to be better. But it's always hard to say some kind of...
general...
Yes, because we're all so different, and we tolerate different. Of course, if you train for a lot of years, you can tolerate more volume. So it depends on what your body is used to as well, I think, and where you come from or where you start,
And how do you personally make sure that you have got enough rest? Like, what type of things do you look at to see that now I should take a rest?
Usually it's hard of course to know, but if you feel like a lot of small pain, if you feel like the progress have been, it's not non-existent.
The progress is not progress.
Yes. Or if you're just tired all the time, maybe you don't have energy for anything, you don't want to train, feel like you just want to sleep all day, then you've probably pushed it too hard already. But of course it's hard to know if it's too much training or if it's too less rest or too less fuel, or what's the reason behind it. It's often hard to know, but then you have to change something, and just take a day off or two and try to make your body recover.
You mentioned before when we talked that you were training the most amount of time. You had 4 hours of practice per day back when you did gymnastics.
Yes, as a gymnast,
As a gymnast,
Yeah, it was a lot of hours, and if we had no school, we had 8 hours, I think, with like 4 hours and then...
Per day?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but I think it was 6 to 8 hours in the holidays and everything. So, but then we had like in the break we had like to just lay down and relax to try to make sure you had enough rest. But of course you can't do that in a normal day when you're working and you can't just I can't
That's
just
basically
go.
a full-time job itself.
Yeah. Can't just go and work and lay down somewhere. It's
No.
And if
That's
someone is watching the gymnast lifestyle, because me myself has been very inspired by the gymnasts, because they are progressing a lot. They have been around for plenty of years, so it's really a structured sport. If someone is watching a gymnast and think, oh, I also want to train like this pro gymnast is doing as a calisthenics athlete, what would you advise them to do? Would you advise them to do the same, or how would they get there?
I think you can have more hours as a gymnast because it's so technical and you often use like a lot of time just on technical movements, and then it's not so hard on the body. But if you have like a full-time calisthenics session or a more intense workout, can't have the same amount of time, I think, because the volume is so high and it's a lot of impact on the body as well. Or at least I would say it's less hours, less time.
In calisthenics.
Yes.
And the load is also relative to you, as you mentioned before. How long of experience have you had with training? How is your body? How much recovery do you have? All these factors impact how much training load you can have. In your training schedule, because you said you're coaching yourself and that's your own program, do you do low volume sessions, low volume periods, more intense, less intense? Do you have some sort of structure like this to manage recovery during your season?
I have some kind of structure on that, yes, and it's also different if it's competition, and if it's like competition season, then it's a lot more reps, and
like
other
higher
time
volume.
yes, and afterwards usually a strength session where I do more heavy or something like that. So yeah, I do a different period.
You also mentioned a little bit about the fueling part. Would you say that you think diet is affecting a lot of people within calisthenics, either in a great way or in a bad way when it comes to their performance?
I think it may be both. Calisthenics is much about being like strong in your own body weight, and that is like your body weight and not everyone else's, so it's hard to compare everything. But of course it's a lot of people that don't eat enough and then don't have enough fuel to do the workouts, and then eventually they will just gradually, or not worse, but not progress, or
They will lose progress.
yes, or maybe be injured or something like that. Yeah, I think it's a big program in a lot of like
Bodyweight sports.
yes, yeah.
I agree, and I think, or I know for a fact that it's affecting a lot of people, really. And if someone is like me, when I was studying calisthenics 6 years ago, is having the problem that they think that they must be as light as possible and they underfuel and they don't progress, what would you say to them to try to make them understand how important this is?
Oh, it's really hard, and you're always afraid to say something that's wrong, kind of. But we need fuel to live. That's one thing. And if you're gonna train and make progress, you have to have even more. You need more like different kind of foods. You need all the type of nutrition. You can't just eat like one thing. And also, it's not if you're eating too less, you usually lose muscles as well, and then you lose strength and progress, of course, and you get more injured, or you could get more injured. Of course, you don't have to. So you usually get in like a wrong, bad loop where you just continue down the same spiral, and then something's wrong, so you have to stop it at one point and then find a way that works for you. If it's less training, or if it's more food, or if it's some kind of other way to make it a balance, not just break down your body, kind of. Yeah. Or for me, at least, it's really important that it's something that you want to do, something you want to achieve more, you want to be better, and then it's a lot of joy in the sports. And if you take away all of that and you're just in this downward spiral, you don't have the joy, you just have the pressure or whatever, you don't have the joy for it, and then you can't continue You will just meet the wall, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that part about making more progress is really important, or that was at least for me, because if you're under fueling with the idea, or because of the idea that you think that you will perform better, I think it's really important to understand that it's gonna do the opposite. So what is gonna make you actually progress more and perform better is eating more. So what you mentioned about that, I think is a really important part.
Yeah, of course it's different from where you start, but usually
All right, so I have a few quotes or things that I've heard from athletes or thought myself or just generally heard, and it's sort of problems, and I want to hear your kind of solution or answer to it. The first one is, I train hard, but when I compete, I can't perform.
Yeah, could be more solution to it, but it could be a mental problem, like a mental block or something. It's different to do something in training than the competition. You get a lot of nerves, you get a lot of adrenaline, you get like your mind doesn't think the same, you know, and it's hard to stay focused. So then you can, like, the competition practice itself is a good thing, to do more competitions, to get more used to it, to not get so scared or afraid, or to just get more normalized competitions, that it should be a more a fun thing, and to show off what you're able to do, not a negative thing. But of course it could be like a physical thing, like you're training hard, of course, that maybe you haven't done the right technique, for instance, like you get a lot of no reps.
That's a good
yes, that's that sucks, you know. It could be just how you train, if it's different than what the competition standards are, for instance. It could be more reasons, but I think it could be nice to see just what's the reason for you, or if it's a mental or if it's a more physical thing.
People probably know you most in calisthenics from Calisthenics Cup, but you have competed a lot before that, right?
Yes. I've been in a lot of competitions as a gymnast as well. I hated the competitions when I was young.
In the beginning?
Yes. Yeah, I hated it, but but I got more used to it afterward, or afterwards, yes.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really great tip to gain this competition experience.
Yes, to get used to it, and to see that it's not or it shouldn't be just pressure to perform in this or that way. It should be something that you want to do. You want to show that, oh, I can do this as well, or something. It's nice when you're able to shift the perspective in the competitions, and also in a great way to just meet friends or meet other people that doing the same thing, or the community, or
The next one is, I eat clean, but I still have no energy.
Yeah. Okay, maybe you eat clean but not enough. Maybe you're doing too much compared to what you eat. Maybe you have to have more income, or no, not income, intake.
So you need to eat more.
Yeah. Or less training.
I feel like my progress is really slow. Learning just a muscle up has taken me more than a year.
Yeah, it depends on where you start, of course, but I think it takes a lot of time. I used a lot of time. I used probably a year as well to learn it. Or I learned like the false grip in the beginning, because that was easier for me. So I did
the slow muscle up.
Yes, I did 8 slow muscle ups before I could do 1 normal muscle up. So it depends on your weakness, or where you're strong, of course, but also if it's consistent, and if you're trying to learn a muscle up without being able to do pull-ups properly, it could take more than a year, of course. And also you have to, like, the more technical, you have to divide the movement, see where your struggle is, what's your weakest point, to see if it's the transition, if it's the pull, if it's the probably not the dip, but if either way. Yes,
it's funny because the girl who asked me this, for her it's actually the push part, the dip part, that is the worst part. So she's really strong in the pull, but the dip part is
the rings, or
no, it's the bar muscle up. So when she gets up here, it's like super heavy to get the last part.
Okay.
So that's actually quite interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The last one. So I feel guilty when I'm resting. What should I do?
I feel guilty when I'm resting myself. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, sometimes. But it's a good thing. You can't. I mean, you have to rest to become better. You can't do high volume, high training, high workload, high everything all the time. You can't. Yeah.
And
You
what
have
do
to
you tell yourself when you're resting and you feel guilty? What do you tell yourself at that moment?
You need rest days. I can't do it, it will just get worse. And if the body feels tired one day, then I don't feel guilty, because then I'm too tired
You feel
to.
like you've done the work.
Yeah.
The last part is a quick questions, quick answers. So I will give the question and you answer with a few words. So first one, on a scale 1 to 10, how sure were you that you were going to win Calisthenics Cup?
This year.
I was not sure at all. I didn't think so, but low on the scale. Yeah.
What's your biggest weakness right now?
Just now.
Yeah.
I have a pain in the collarbone, so I can't do a lot of the exercises. Usually it's, I feel like pull-ups is the one I'm most stuck with. I think it's hardest to have progress, or at least to see it, but we saw some problems. Yes.
How do you mentally prepare before stepping on stage? What's the last thing you do or tell yourself before you get up?
I like to visualize beforehand. If I know I'm gonna be in that or that bar, I like to visualize what I'm gonna do and where I'm gonna go next. That's like one part, and also to remember the most. Like for instance, in Calisthenics Cup, we have different routines. So for example, in the first one, I had I didn't have completely lockout and the pull-ups in the first round. So then I have to think, okay, it's the lockout and the pull-ups, and it's the depth on the push-ups, for instance. Those two things, I have to remember those two things. Try to remember what I did not so good in the last one, to remember that as the last thing before I go on stage for the next one, to try to remember it in the next one.
Would you call yourself talented? And would you say that your success is because of talent or hard work or both?
Probably both, but I think I was a gymnast, and then you already know the handstands, for instance. I know all the handstand beforehand, before I started this, but I didn't know the handstand at 5 years old, kind of. So of course you can't wake up one day and do muscle up. You have to work for it either way. But I think the way I started young at gymnastics has helped me a lot, because it's you've kind of did some kind of training all your life.
This one you already answered. How many times have you broken a bone?
I think 10, if I remember right.
And I have 0.
Yeah.
Insane.
I count up for both.
And last one, what motivates you the most right now?
It's both to get better. I want to reach higher, to have new goals, but also it's after a competition, for instance, I got so many DMs and people that saying that it's so cool to watch and it really motivates me, and that also motivates me as well. And I think that's been really cool. A lot of people saying for instance, it's cool that girls also can do the same as guys, and I really think that's cool. I think we can do the same, so that's also a motivation. I want to do the same, and I want to do the same form, the same standards. That's the goal, kind of. Yeah, I know it takes longer time and it could be harder, but I want to do the same, and I want to, all the other girls, want to show that we also can do.
We are wrapping up, but just a few questions about what's coming next. Do you have any upcoming competitions right now?
My boyfriend is going to final rep in the summer, and I would like to compete as well. In this one, I haven't been doing any street lifting before.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
So we may see you in street lifting.
Yeah, not have high hopes.
No.
It's not my thing, but it would be cool just to try it out, to see it.
And Calisthenics Cup next year?
Yeah, it would be really cool. I'm not sure yet. I will see. When time comes, but it's the coolest competition. If it fits, it would be great to go. Yeah. We will see.
Cool. It was really nice to have you here. It was such a pleasure, and I will link your Instagram, where to find you, in the description. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.